Hey fish friends, Zenzo here with Tazawa Tanks. How's everyone doing? Hope you're doing well. I'm down here in the fish room. I'm about to do a bunch of water changes. So down here I have 26 tanks in the fish room. I've got a bunch upstairs of course as well. And it has been about 3 or 4 days since I did the last water changes. So it is time for me to do water changes down here. Now, for some reason, you guys want to watch me change water. I don't know why. It doesn't seem that exciting. I think where it stemmed from was on the Real Fish Talk, when I was on the Real Fish Talk's YouTube channel and did the live stream. The topic of me changing water in the fish room came up because I listened to the Real Fish Talk's podcast, and I try to get this done in about an hour and a half or so, about 90 minutes. So a lot of you had sent me messages or commented on some of my videos recently about wanting to see me change my tanks or change the water in the tanks. So this is not going to be a 90-minute video. It's probably going to be a 5-minute video because I'm going to do a time lapse and I'm going to speed it up. So you're going to watch me move around at hyperspeed. But yeah, I guess I'll just kind of film a quick little video and show you what it looks like sped up of me doing a bunch of water changes. So I'm going to be using a variety of different pumps that I use to pump dirty water out. So I'll place some in tanks. I will place some in this garbage can, which I drain water from the tanks into the can. And then I've got some hoses in the sink in the garage that will run through and refill the tank. So the most important thing is I've got to be entertained. So I just plugged in the Real Fish Talk, the podcast. So I'm going to go ahead and listen and start working. I'm going to do a time lapse here, so it'll be real quick. For those of you that may not be familiar with the Real Fish Talk, it is a really fun show to watch and or listen to, and I choose to listen to it on a podcast. I will put a link in the description below on about the Real Fish Talk so that you can check out their channel and follow along, because it can be pretty entertaining while you're doing stuff like this. So I thought I'd just do a little voiceover here just because, in my opinion, kind of boring watching me clean tanks, but what the heck. So anyway, I'm just going around and siphoning the bottom of the tanks with my gravel vac, and then I've got a little homemade PVC piece that I made that I can drain tanks down to a certain level. And I've got one of my submersible pumps in the 40 breeder down there to the left, and it's sucking water out, and then I just did a little gravel vac in there as well. So really it makes it easy when I have the garbage can, because I can just pump water out, so I can siphon directly to the can and then pump water out directly to the sink, so I'm not having to go back and forth. So sometimes I can do a couple of tanks at the same time, as you can see there. So anyway, it's pretty easy when they're bare bottom. It makes it a lot easier to vacuum up the debris. But yeah, anyway, that's you know, pretty simple. It's not rocket science. It's just trying to be quick and efficient and making sure that nothing overflows, like the garbage can there almost overflowed. But I was able to catch it in time. You just have to be on top of it. All right, so just like that, was able to drain 25 tanks pretty quickly, as you can see. Now it's time to add the Dechlorinator to my tanks. I happen to use Prime. I do have Chem Safe as well. I use that upstairs, but down here I use Prime. And my method is I fill my shot glass here. This is a shot glass from Mexico. Fill it up with Prime, and then I use my little syringe applicator here and can measure by the milliliters based on the necessity of the tank, so I know how much to fill it in. So I'm going to go ahead and pour a couple shots. So as I explained, I am putting the Dechlorinator in each tank using my applicator, so it's pretty accurate. And then I'm currently filling tanks as I'm doing that. So you can see I've got the hose on the left there with the 40 breeder, and then I've also got the Python on the right filling up to 75. Now I'm refilling, so nothing much more to see. It's not that exciting. I just looked at the clock. It's been about 55 minutes that it took me to get to this point. So now it's just kind of waiting for the tanks to refill, and then I'll just kind of do a wipe down and double check everything, and I'll be done. All right, well, just like that, I am done. It is exactly 90 minutes. In fact, I just paused the Real Fish Talks episode, and it's the one where they're just kind of talking about fish, and they're talking about datnoids that they saw at the wet spot. So it is exactly at 1 minute and 30, or 1 hour, 30 minutes, and 15 seconds. So there you go, 90 minutes. I did all the tanks down here except for one of the planted tanks, and then I've got this little small betta tank in that little back office there, but I don't count that towards these tanks, and I didn't do that one today. So that's all I had for now. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.